I couldn't believe it, but cola is the absolute insider tip for the household. There are 5 incredible tricks with cola that almost nobody knows, but really everyone should know, simply because they are so ingenious. And if you've only ever drunk cola, you'll be amazed. The first ingenious trick involves this tab on a can of Coke, because we can do several things with it. When you open it, one of the things you can do is push it back a little so that it stands over the hole. This is particularly useful if you want to use a straw, because if you don't push this tab in front of it, it will simply come out again due to the carbon dioxide. However, you can use the tab here to clamp it in at the side and ensure that it no longer comes up. Another ingenious option is to stick a small note underneath once you have pushed the flap forward. This way, you can make sure that no wasps or other insects get in, especially if you are enjoying your drink outside. When you want to drink, all you have to do is put it aside again. And when you finish drinking, you should always keep this little tab, because you can use it in your closet. Slide it over one of these hangers. Now you can hang a second hanger on it, slightly offset through the flap. This gives you much more space in your closet. But it gets even better. For the next trick, you should fill a 330 milliliter can of Coke into a container. You will now also need a little salt, but first you should stir out the carbon dioxide a little. Now add 2 teaspoons of salt, 100 milliliters of vinegar, and 50 milliliters of washing up liquid. Once you have added everything to the container, you should stir it well again at the end so that all the ingredients are completely mixed together. Now grab an empty washing up liquid container, a funnel, and pour all the liquid into it. Put the lid on and put it somewhere in your cupboard. Whenever you need it, you can take it out again. The ingredients make it an incredibly good stainless steel cleaner that you can use for pots and pans, but you can even use it to get your sink really clean and shiny again. For the next trick, we also need eggs in addition to the cola, but only the shell. If you use eggs regularly, you shouldn't throw the shell in the bin, but keep it, as you can use it for this ingenious trick. But first you have to shred them much smaller, because that's the only way we can really use them. Now put the eggshells in a small bowl because we need a few more ingredients. The first is some water. I now take half a cup of this. I also add half a cup of washing up liquid. Once we have added this, the only thing missing is the last ingredient, which is cola. You should now add a whole cup of this. As soon as you have all the ingredients in the bowl, stir everything again really well so that it is completely mixed together. Now you can grab an empty cola bottle, for example. However, you should make a small hole in the lid with a hot or pointed object. Now pour all the liquid into it using a funnel. This way you can use it whenever you need it. The advantage of the eggshells is that they act as an abrasive. In combination with the cola and dishwashing liquid, you can use it to perfectly clean particularly burnt pots and pans. Add a small amount of this mixture and start wiping everything thoroughly. In the end, the pot will be completely clean again. But do you actually know what you should do if you pour cola into a glass and it starts to foam a lot and is about to foam over? Simply press your finger into the cola, as this will make it stop foaming immediately. You can also leave your finger in the cola and then pour it in, then it won't foam at all. Or you can simply take a glass, press it the wrong way round onto your Coke bottle, turn the whole thing upside down and slowly pull the bottle upwards. It won't foam over this way either. Of course, you have to make sure that you use a glass that is big enough to hold the entire contents of the Coke bottle. But the next trick is probably the most special, but also the most ingenious of all. Tip 200 milliliters of cola into a jar. Now we also need some toothpaste. This should be a strand of about 15 to 20 centimeters long, which you tip in and then stir everything together really well. It's best to do this until the toothpaste has completely dissolved in the cola. As soon as this is the case, pour the whole thing into an ice cube mold. Because before you can actually use it, you should put it in your freezer until these little ice cubes are completely frozen. Then you can use them wonderfully for your toilet. But there's another insider tip that I'll show you in a moment. Simply put 1 or 2 of them in your toilet and wait briefly until they have dissolved a little. The cola and toothpaste will not only make your toilet really clean, but will also make it smell nice and fresh again. As soon as they have dissolved, you can give the toilet a good wipe with the toilet brush and flush again at the end to make sure everything is clean again. But the second option is even more ingenious. You can also simply place one of these cola toothpaste ice cubes in your drain. Again, you should wait for some time until it has slowly dissolved and then pour in some really hot water. This will even get the inside of the drain really clean again, and it will smell pleasantly fresh afterwards. Would you like to find out more incredible tricks that most people don't know about? Then click on the video you see on the screen because I'll show you there.